You're building India's first private global satellite constellation, right? When you did the show for the Chief Minister of Gujarat, did any accident happen between the drones or what was it?
First communication layer got jammed. मतलब to jam GPS signal, you just buy a software-defined radio of $100. It's so easy to jam.
Tell me about SpaceX, right?
If we talk about SpaceX, I think it's extremely motivational.
But have you ever thought of collaborating with SpaceX, connecting? Have you tried to connect with the team of Elon Musk?
Not as of now, maybe because Hyperloop was started by Elon Musk.
Welcome, Vibhor, to Level Up. Thanks a lot for coming.
Thank you so much.
I'm really very, very excited because this is a topic we've never covered on space tech, on deep tech.
Right.
A topic which is probably needs to be showcased more, needs to be highlighted more, in general media. But nevertheless, I think hopefully this starts a trend where this topic, innovation, space tech, deep tech gets covered, in multiple other podcasts and in mainstream media also. Awesome to have you here. You're building India's first private global satellite constellation, right? First of all these words are in itself very difficult and tricky.
Right.
So, सबसे पहले, Vibhor,
Yeah.
if you can break it down for us in very, very normal language that a common person who's watching this video, he can understand कि भाई आप करते क्या हो space tech के अंदर.
Right. First of all, thank you so much, Devansh, for this opportunity. So I think if I talk about what we are trying to build in very simple terms, right? I think all of us have used GPS in some way or the other. For example, जब आप Uber, Ola, Rapido किसी पे भी कैब बुक करते हो, you are booking it क्योंकि आपके पास रिसीवर है, योर नेविगेशन कम्स थ्रू इट. मतलब उस ऐप को पता चलता है कि आप कहाँ पे हो, उस ऐप को पता चलता है कि ऑटो या कैब कहाँ पे
है. Yeah.
This is what is called satellite navigation,
Okay.
which is done through GPS by USA, GLONASS by Russia. There are different constellations. Constellation in very simple terms is a group of satellites working together. So this is what a constellation means.
Okay.
So this navigation is what you are getting through these constellations. And then
Okay.
you are able to navigate through different areas. मतलब you're walking, your phone receives these signals and then you can navigate कि आपको कहाँ जाना है, कैसे जाना है, कौन सा route लेना है. All these things happen because of satellite navigation. So what we are trying to build right now is a new age navigation system from India for the world. In very simple terms.
Okay. So this is something, अगर simply put करे, so this is something what Google or Google Maps is there. Are we doing something alternative to that in India by Indians for the world, or how do you put it?
No, so alternative to Google Maps is something Map My India already exists. So what we are, Map My India is a map. You need to navigate into the map.
Correct.
So for example, इधर पे 4 रास्ते हैं. अब आपको पता करना है कि कौन से रास्ते पे आप कहाँ पे खड़े हो और आपको कैसे कैसे जाना है. So this is what is navigation.
Okay.
Map is just a well defined area कि ये paths possible हैं. So we are not building map, we are building a system जिससे आप navigate कर सकते हो eventually.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
And first and foremost, from where did you get this idea? Because y'all were 3 kids in IIT
Yeah.
Madras. Y'all were doing something in Hyperloop, which we'll
Correct.
come to also. I want to
Yeah.
understand also about that Hyperloop project. But ये idea फिर कहाँ से आया कि अच्छा कुछ GPS के अंदर करते हैं या कुछ satellite constellation के अंदर करते हैं?
Right.
Please.
So मतलब as soon as we graduate, I think Hyperloop will talk separately.
हाँ.
But as soon as we graduated from IIT Madras, we started this company called Aerodome Technologies,
Correct.
where we were doing drone swarm technology. So what drone swarm means is बहुत सारे drones एक साथ work कर रहे हैं for any task. Like large number
Okay.
of drones working together for any application.
Okay.
And the first application we picked up was drone light shows. So what
Okay.
drone light shows is, I think it's now becoming very common that large number of LED equipped drones create visuals in the night sky for entertainment, weddings, promotion, all of these purposes. And we did first 4 shows as well. First for the Chief Minister of Gujarat. Second we did for Pondicherry government, for IIT Madras, for private event. But while we were developing these drone swarm technology, one problem we realized was when you have these hundreds of drones flying together, they need to be very accurately placed.
Okay.
If they're not accurate, they would crash into each other, they would collide and they would fall off.
Yeah.
And that is not what we can do.
When a drone is flying, of course, there is a pilot who's flying it. right?
No, so these are autonomous drones.
Okay,
मतलब you
completely
give
auto-
them a mission कि ऐसे ऐसे जाना है, इस
okay,
path को
okay,
follow
okay.
करके वापस
उसको
आना है.
चलाना नहीं है नीचे
हाँ,
से.
yes. If that positioning is inaccurate, मतलब ड्रोन जो नेविगेट कर रहा है, इट इज़ नॉट, अगर वो inaccurate है, let's say 3 to 5 meters, then the drones, अगर 100 drones उड़ रहे हैं तो they would collide into each other. So what we developed was a system called RTK, जो एक correction system है. So everything is taking signals from GPS and GNSS constellations. This system basically is a base station which sends correction to these drones so they can correct their position to a centimeter level of accuracy.
Okay.
So this was the first instance when we realized कि अभी जो system मतलब infrastructure available है GNSS का, it is not accurate. The second problem we faced was when we did the first show for Chief Minister of Gujarat. And in that show, because of the Chief Minister's security, jammers were present and it jammed our signals, jammed our communication, everything. And in December 2024, we did the show in front of 5 lakh audience. And in January, we started thinking how can we solve this problem through a global constellation and through and basically solve for global applications,
Amazing.
not only in India.
Amazing.
So yeah.
But when you did the show for the Chief Minister of Gujarat,
Yeah.
did any accident happen between the drones or what was it?
No, so our first communication layer got jammed
Okay.
because of the jammers and interference because of 5 lakh people. But we had 2 backup communication channels as well, so that prevented us from any accidents. Otherwise, it would have been a havoc in front of 5 lakh audience, failing off a drone show. So yeah.
Okay. So that's how you came up with this idea that we
Yeah.
need to create a private satellite constellation.
Yes. For
That
PNT purposes.
what does PNT mean?
So PNT is basically position, navigation, and timing.
Position navigation type.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. And if you can elaborate in detail, like
Yeah.
what is PNT and like why is it important to you guys?
Yeah. So as I mentioned, GPS is basically a PNT constellation.
Okay.
So it provides you position, navigation possibilities as well as timing synchronization. What happens is basically any device which opens up, let's say your laptop, your phone, your drone, the first 2 questions it asks is what is the location where it is at and what time it is. So these are the 2 most fundamental questions which is asked by any device whenever you are opening it up.
Okay.
And these are now currently provided by GPS or any of these GNSS constellations. This is called position, navigation and timing. So in very simple terms, आपकी location पता करने को position navigation बोलते हैं, and timing is कि to be very precise timing. For example, use cases like telecommunication, data centers, financial services. Let's say for trading, you need very precise timing stamps. कि इस time stamp पे कौन सा trade हुआ था, कितने का हुआ था. All these different high frequency trading requires very precise and secure timing. So these are the different PNT applications as well.
Got it. And so I want to understand ke the product that you guys are making, right? How is it different than what you have currently as GNSS or GPS that is already existing?
Yeah, so we're trying to solve 3 problems which are fundamentally existing in the
current
existing
setup.
GNSS infrastructure. First is it is not precise.
Okay.
So for the systems which are coming now, matlab we are moving to an autonomous age. We have drone deliveries coming up, drone surveillance, we have autonomous vehicles, precision agriculture, construction autonomy, mining autonomy. All of these things are now moving towards autonomy. IoT devices are coming up everywhere, which require very precise time synchronization as well. So these systems require precision to a centimeter level, and GPS and any other GNSS infrastructure is incapable of doing that because they provide accuracy to a level of 3 to 5 meters to even 10 meters based on the location and the environment where you are at. So what
so
we're trying to solve,
you need that accuracy till 0 meters, in fact, madam.
like 5 centimeter
5
to 10
centimeter.
centimeter is what we are planning to have.
Okay.
That's the first problem statement. Second is it is not secure. So what you need to do is basically, matlab, to jam GPS signal, you just buy a software defined radio of $100.
Okay.
You plug it into your laptop. There's an open source code available in GitHub, and you can jam the GPS signals of 5 to 10 kilometers.
Wow.
It's so easy to jam.
मतलब कोई भी hacker या jammer
Yeah.
जिसको
Eventually, you
अंदर से
don't
कीड़ा-
even need to be
कीड़ा
a hacker
होगा.
and jammer. You can do it matlab, very easily. You
Okay.
don't need any particular skills of hacking and jamming. do that.
Crazy.
So just imagine, matlab, the infrastructure which powers the world is so easy to, it's so vulnerable, so to say. So what we are trying to achieve is through encryption and through higher power signal strength to avoid jamming and spoofing.
भाई कोई लोग जाके करना मत ये.
Yeah. And the third is basically stronger signals for situations where indoor PNT is not available, because the signal strength is so low कि आप यहाँ पे अभी GPS use नहीं कर सकते उतने अच्छे से in a closed environment, in urban canyons or forest cover, etc. So what we are trying to do is stronger signals to 100x to 1000x power, which will give access or enable these sort of use cases as well.
Wow.
Yeah, so these are the three
Problem
problem statements which we are trying to solve for through Vyomic's constellation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Amazing. This is a very, very different subject topic, and I feel
Right.
to make someone understand this, it is going to take some time, unless you are little bit expertise or you know about this topic, right?
Correct.
It is not a basic apparel or basic product that someone is going to buy. How did you manage to make your parents, make your family understand that, bhai, we are trying to do this kind of a startup?
Right, so I think when we are doing drones was pretty मतलब common thing right now. सबको पता है कि drones के बहुत सारे applications होते हैं when we started with drones. And I think when we finalized on this idea, we didn't tell them एकदम से कि ऐसा कर रहे हैं, because of वो revenue generating startup से we were just pivoting to a completely new tech which would take like 3-5 years down the line to get some good revenues and all. मतलब we took some time, explain them थोड़ा करके कि ऐसे navigation होता है, GPS ऐसे काम करता है, हम उसको सुधार रहे हैं. There are customers like defense, for India, telecommunication, we have drones. मतलब global application is the market now. So I think it took us some time to explain them, but they were ready to believe us. Hope, yeah.
Got it.
Thankfully.
And maybe after you receive the investment more so.
yeah. That's obviously a plus point.
Got it.
Ki someone is willing to put in money on these kind of things. So yeah.
Got it. So currently, what is the stage at which you guys are? Have you all made any product, or it is in prototype stage? And what is the actual product? आप बना क्या रहे हो और बेचते क्या हो basically?
Right. So eventually what we are going to do in 5 years down the line is set up a constellation of our own.
Okay.
Which is basically a number of satellites in low Earth orbit, which will provide these signals.
यार बनता कैसे है सैटेलाइट, मतलब ऑर्बिट में? मेरे तो दिमाग में नहीं जा रहा है.
Yeah, so for example, like PSLV from ISRO sends these satellites. They drop these satellites into a particular orbit. And then those satellites revolve around the Earth in very simple terms. मतलब eventually you have to identify कि किस orbit में डालना है, कितने angle पे डालना है, but not getting in deep into that. You're dropping basically a satellite into outer space, and that it revolves around, sending signals all the way. So this is in very simple terms. So
your product is that satellite which you are going to put it in the lower orbit?
In group of satellites.
Group of satellites, a constellation.
Yeah.
So how do you make this satellite?
Talking about what stage we are in, and then I'll take you through that.
Please.
So right now we are building a first payload, which is basically the signal sending unit in very simple terms. मतलब ये जो payload होगा, it is the heart of the satellite, जो signal send करेगा, जिसकी वजह से आपको position, navigation और timing में help होगी.
Correct.
The satellite in itself is payload plus bus. Bus is basically मतलब जो हम bus use करते हैं, right? It's like that.
Okay.
कि वो bus है जो मतलब it will revolve around with the payload. Payload is basically the heart. Right now we have a lot of companies which are working on satellite bus as well.
Is it?
So XD Links is one such company in India. Yeah, so this is like a bus.
Okay.
इसमें solar system है for battery powering, battery charging. You have propulsion which helps in changing orbit or keeping it in orbit. You have all these different electronic components which goes in so that the satellite is maintained in its orbit and it is running perfectly fine.
This is the bus, the outer portion.
Yeah.
And this is put in the orbit.
Yeah.
By
and
you
inside
guys.
this is the payload, or outside this, this is basically carrying the payload.
Payload.
In-
Payload is what you said? What does it mean basically? It
the-
carries?
It for us, it would be a clock system. It would be a signal generation unit.
Okay. The signal
yeah,
generation unit,
correct.
which will tell you ke bhai, what is the
Yes.
location, the timing, etc.,
Correct.
which will give you that information.
Yes.
Okay. And once this is put in the orbit, I'm sure there are multiple other, maybe a few startups globally who are also throwing their own
Yes.
buses and the
Yeah, yeah.
payloads in the satellite. So how does that work? I mean, is there any complication that happens or what?
Yeah, you have to decide your orbit कि किस orbit पे आपको डालना है, कितने angle पे डालना है, and then you have to see कि और कोई satellites तो नहीं है उस पे, and then you have to
वो
determine
पता
कि
चल जाता है
yeah,
starting से कि what
that
what
is there.
Okay.
You can track satellites and all.
This is amazing technology. I mean, this is something जो पता नहीं, ऐसा मैंने सोचा भी नहीं था ऐसा सब कुछ होता है. Probably Tesla या ISRO वाले
Yeah,
लोग
SpaceX is
करते
doing
होंगे.
communication.
SpaceX is doing.
So yeah.
Okay.
Recently, Maharashtra government approved the SpaceX broadband connectivity as well. Yesterday itself.
What
I
is it called? I forgot.
Starlink.
Starlink. Okay, got it. Where do you guys make this?
So
Because this would be a hardware
Yes.
plus a software, I'm
Correct.
assuming. So how do you guys make it? Where do you guys make it?
So right now, the payload we are developing in-house in our office in Bangalore. Satellite bus is something which we are not focusing for the first 18 months because we want to completely focus on payload, test it through space. So there are programs like POEM mission, Smile mission, or hosted payload programs of ISRO, where you can put your, startups can put their satellite payloads into their bigger satellite in very simple terms, and then test it for a few months. So this would give a cheaper alternative and a very cost-effective alternative, so that you can test your signals from space, test the convergence, test everything basically without paying much on the satellite bus development and the launching, etc. So this is very beneficial for startups like us who are just evolving or who are just coming up. So this
Got
is
it.
the plan. In next 18 months, we want to test something from space, basically our payload from space.
कि सिग्नल आ रहा है कि नहीं,
सिग्नल आ रहा है,
बराबर
कितनी
accuracy है,
Yeah, कितना
Okay.
strength आ रहा है,
कितना strength आ रहा है. Got it.
Yeah, all these things.
Mind blowing. And so now, before we move more further into the satellite thing and understand more about what you guys are doing and the industry in general, tell me about your journey from Hyperloop to satellite and how did that come about?
Right. So that's really an interesting story. So I'll give you a brief context of what Hyperloop and what Avishkar Hyperloop is. So Avishkar Hyperloop is a Hyperloop development team at IIT Madras.
Okay.
It's not a legal entity. It's not a startup. It's a project.
project by
It's a project
students.
of IIT Madras. What Hyperloop basically means is you have levitating vehicles or levitating trains, which is a few centimeters of lifted from the ground through magnetism and the electromagnetic properties. And they are running inside a vacuum tunnel or a vacuum tube, so that you get very high speeds up to 1200 kilometers per hour, and you get very effective solution. So because there is no friction attached to it. So Avishkar Hyperloop is a student development team. We were doing a lot of research on vacuum tubes, contactless propulsion mechanisms, contactless braking, levitation mechanisms, etc. And in 2022, we three were leading the team in different subsystems as well. Avishkar Hyperloop. So Vyomic is formed out of me, Vibhor Jain, Lokesh Kabdal and Anurag Patil. We are three co-founders, graduated from IIT Madras in 2023. And in 2022, we were leading this team. We built the world's longest Hyperloop testing facility, got 3 granted patents on the same technology. We raised 10 crore plus funding from Indian Railway. Railway Minister himself offered, gave us the letter which approved these sanctions. And also, I think it got increased to 24 crores now.
Oh, wow.
So this is what Hyperloop is. And as soon as you become lead, next year you need to leave the team, so that juniors can take over the position.
Correct.
So it's a rolling team. It doesn't stop anytime. And there are new research which is going on every year.
But when does the final product or the output come out then?
Every year you need to, so every year when we start, we set up some goals. Ki this year we would test this kind of levitation mechanism. We would develop the tube this year. We would raise this funding to develop the tube. मतलब एक pod बनाएंगे, we called it Hyperloop pod. We'll make a Hyperloop pod which would run at this speed, etc. So at the end of the year, you need to prove those. And we also participate in a competition called European Hyperloop Week, which happens in Europe every year. And we were global global top 3 teams across all the universities combined. So that's how it works. And then in the final year of our degree, we started working on Drone and Swarm as a project, incorporated it as a company in 2023, and now we are here after all that. So yeah.
Got it. So it is a very, straight out of the college kind of a startup story.
Yes.
Got it. But ऐसा कभी नहीं लगा कि you all should do some kind of a job or get some experience into space tech or into drone industry or something like that?
No, I think matlab, this all came from Avishkar itself. We were building some technology which was never done, never tested out. No one had ever even thought about building something. To give you a perspective, Hyperloop tube is a steel tube which is like a 2 meter in diameter. We brought down the cost of that tube compared to USA, compared to Europe, to 1/6 to 1/5 of the cost, which is right now built at IIT Madras. So this kind of research which we were doing, I come from civil engineering background. I was also working in mechanical aspect. Lokesh and Anurag come from mechanical engineering. They were also working on electrical aspect. So it was never something that we always had this confidence that we could do. We could learn and do it really fast. So that was off the table. The second point, we didn't want it to do a job anyways, all 3 of us. So yeah, I think
that was also off the table.
Yeah. So yeah.
Got it. You mentioned defense in your previous sentence. Explain us के defense ministry, for India as a country, how does your product, the constellation satellites, how will it help the defense?
Yeah. So let me come back to the example where when you are booking Ola, Uber cabs, right? आप जब बुक करते हो, आपकी लोकेशन मैप में हो सकता है कुछ और दिखा रहा हो, और आप जहाँ खड़े हो उससे डिफरेंस हो. मतलब there could be a 3 to 5 meters difference, 10 meters difference. I think everyone has faced that.
You have to just walk it up little bit and stuff.
To correct it.
Correct.
So now think of this scenario where India की कोई missile is targeted to a particular point and it drops off 10 meters away from that because of navigation failure. The whole purpose of the missile gets
correct. Then it is gone
down the drain basically.
Yeah, you're hitting some other target altogether.
Correct. So this is where we come in. We bring that kind of precision into these systems. Let's say drone operations for defense, autonomous vehicle operations for defense, for missile operations. All of these operations require navigation.
Correct.
And now they require even more precise navigation because all of these systems are becoming autonomous. So this is what we are bringing to the table.
Understood. But so up tak what is our government using?
So we are using Navic, GPS and other constellations as well. So we are using multi-constellation systems, but they do not provide that kind of accuracy, right?
Is it?
Yeah.
So you're saying कि अभी जो war हुआ है अपन ने कहीं दूसरे जगह पे भी मार दिया होगा 10-15 मीटर
No. So there are different technologies which are alternate PNTs.
Okay.
Which are backup PNT की अगर कुछ jamming होती है या अगर कुछ होता है, you can correct those systems on board. So what we are saying is कि with our system you can inherently have that kind of accuracy. So you अभी
so
हमको
they don't need to use multiple constellations or multiple service providers.
Yes, ideally we want something for India where we are dependent completely on Indian technologies for these kind of affairs. मतलब हम लोग आत्मनिर्भरता in everything we are moving towards आत्मनिर्भरता. Why not in something so critical like PNT?
So this software and this currently what the Indian government is using for defense is it from outside India?
No, so we have our own constellation as well. ISRO has set up Navic.
Navic is a Indian company.
No. So it's a Indian constellation.
Indian constellation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which provides the signal for defense and other use cases as well. So what we are trying to do is work on precision. We are complementing Navic on these precision use cases, so to say.
So you remember during the Kargil war, I think USA had denied us GPS usage.
Yeah.
So now are we still dependent on USA for GPS, or we have our own, and how will Vyomic technology come into the picture once it is live?
Right. So, as I mentioned, Navic, right? India's own navigation system. That started because India was denied GPS signals in 1999. So in 2000, Indian government started, or ISRO started developing
Okay, got it.
India's own navigation system. We do have our own navigation system. For critical applications, we are using our own navigation system. But for these precise, as I rightly previously also mentioned, that for precise applications, we do not have such advantage. Even though GPS, GLONASS, all of these also do not provide that kind of accuracy. So that's why we are building a system in low Earth orbit which will provide these precise signals or precise navigation possibilities as well. And which is jamming and spoofing proof.
Spoofing proof, yeah. Which can happen any moment.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, got it. What you said about even, I think before the conversation, before the podcast started, about driverless cars.
Correct.
So I'm very much intrigued to know, because now I think that is something which is picking up, specifically in USA. I think I saw one video even in IIT Madras or some IIT, they have made a driverless car, and which was
I think IASC very recently, right?
It's in some institute.
So
India maybe I think demo first prototype has just gone live. USA we can see it on the streets, though not at a mass scale, but yes, it is happening. How does Vyomic come into the picture? How do your satellites come into the picture for driverless cars?
So same thing, right? For driverless car, it's an autonomous system. It requires a precise navigation system to change the lanes, to accurately position itself. अगर वो for example कार को आपने कहीं पे मतलब autonomous car is detecting that it is standing somewhere, but actually it is standing 5 meters apart, then the it might crash or nothing. It is unpredictable system. So you need precise position to make any autonomous system work. That's the fundamental scenario right now.
Okay. So give me a list of sectors जहाँ पे your satellite constellation and what you guys are building,
right?
The navigation system, the autonomous navigation part, where all can it come handy? One is driverless cars, one is in the defense.
We have defense, autonomous vehicles, which we call driverless cars. It could be cars, trucks, anything.
Correct.
Then we have drones for civilian use case as well, for surveillance, drone deliveries, monitoring, inspection, any of these purposes. Then we have construction, which requires very precise positioning for mapping, surveying, modeling.
Oh, okay. Construction and mining also.
Mining. So construction, I consider infrastructure development, roads, mining, everything in construction. Then we have precision agriculture, which is not very prominent right now in India, but it's growing. Globally as well.
Yeah.
Then in timing, we have telecommunication. So just a fact or a fun fact, मतलब you are just making a call. आप जब भी इंटरनेट से कनेक्ट करते हो, आप जब भी कॉल करते हो, there is a back end time synchronization of 1.5 microsecond. मतलब every system, every chain, मतलब उस chain में, मतलब आप जैसे भी कॉल करते हो, उस chain में जो equipment आता है उसको 1.5 microsecond पे synchronize होना चाहिए.
Okay.
If that is not there, आपका कॉल भी नहीं लगेगा. You would be connected to some other call, some other person. The whole telecommunication will disrupt. So that's how critical it is.
Okay.
So telecommunication we have for timing.
Okay.
And right now it is taken from GPS and any of these GNSS constellation, Navic, GPS, all of these things. So telecommunication, financial services, for trading, you need very precise time stamps. नहीं तो you would not know कि आपने कब ट्रेड किया था, उतने उस टाइम पे कितने पैसे का चल रहा था, कितने रुपए का चल रहा था particular stock. So high frequency trading requires very precise time synchronization. We have data centers which require time synchronization. Power grids require time synchronization.
Wow.
So these are some of the sectors. Apart, also one thing I missed is maritime.
Which one?
Maritime. Shipping. Infrastructure.
Yeah.
Which also requires positioning. To be frank, जो सबसे ज़्यादा jamming और spoofing होती है apart from defense is in maritime. मतलब they jam the ships, they spoof the GPS signals of the ship. So one of the companies which we are talking to, or one of the captains of merchant navy we were talking to, he mentioned कि he himself have faced this problem where while traveling through Persian Gulf region, उनकी ship spoof होके land पे दिखा रही थी instead of on water. So they were not able to navigate for some time, and then they shifted to all the previous versions like celestial navigation, all those things.
Okay, so when he was actually
In the ship.
in the ship,
Yeah.
तो उनको जो दिख रहा था वो दिख रहा था कि
कि
वो
हम
लैंड
लैंड
पे
पे आ गए. So now you don't know कि अभी आगे
कौन से
किधर
रास्ता
पे
जाना है. हाँ.
correct. So
Oh,
that happens. So
wow, that's dangerous.
yeah.
Understood. So there is of course ISRO, right, which
Correct.
is the government organization or the government body which is into space for
Right.
India, and it's doing a massive job. But there are also startups that have come up in space, right? Like there is Skyroot, Agnikul. You guys are there, right? How do you think? Do you think that government and these private players, which are new age startups, how y'all can work hand in hand to build something which is like a global impact, solution?
Right. So I think government privatized space sector in 2021.
Correct.
They brought up the space policy, which is really good, which is very much in favor of startups growing in this sector. So and you see the things, right now we have a public private partnership contract which was awarded to four companies consortium, Peerside, Pixel,
Okay.
Satsure, and one other company
Okay.
for survey for Earth observation satellites.
Okay.
It was like a 300 crores contract. So now government is trying to privatize space sector, give them a free hand on what we can develop, what different technologies we can explore. Because as a government, as one organization, you can do only so
Little.
much. As if you have 100, like so many startups working on different technologies. There are startups for thermal imaging, there are startups for SAR imaging, for hyperspectral imaging, for normal optical imaging, for communications, for PNT. Now we have so many in the ecosystem that we can build something great out of India for the global application or for the world.
So do you think government is supporting properly, or are there still hurdles where you feel there can be good improvement in terms of support, in terms of policies from the government side?
No, I think the support is really excellent.
Okay.
Matlab, they are pushing us to do some things which we might be lacking behind. Matlab, they mentor us, they advise us on different technologies for business use case. So the government has set up this InSpace which helps startups to evolve eventually. And government, so InSpace has also set up a TAF, which is Technology Adoption Fund of 25 crores. So wherein a startup working on a problem statement good enough can get that 25 crore to develop the technology, prove and everything. So the help is extremely great.
And in terms of capital or funding from government, is there any schemes, is there any grants where you all can get access to capital?
Yeah, so first is, as I mentioned, Technology Adoption Fund, which is like a 25 crore per project maximum which company
Wow.
gives. So it's like a 500 crore fund corpus.
This is the government corpus?
Government corpus, in which they give for a project up to 25 crore.
Only for space
Only
tech?
for space
okay,
tech.
Got it.
Specific to space tech. For other schemes, there are definitely Startup India Seed Fund scheme. We have
that
all
is
of
there,
those.
which is there for the other tech
Yeah.
and little bit more innovation.
Correct.
But this requires
Huge capital
huge
and-
capital, huge gestation
Correct.
period, etc.
So if you see Startup India Seed Fund scheme, you get a grant of 20 lakhs.
That's normal.
For TAF, you have like 25 crore per project. So that kind of magnitude they have kept in mind. The other schemes are IDEX for defense, Aditi challenges, 25 crores again.
Okay.
So there are lots of schemes or lots of initiatives by government which can be tapped into if you are working in the right domain or right problem statement.
Got it. Tell me about SpaceX, right? I
Yeah.
think every founder who is probably getting into space, would look up to SpaceX and
Correct.
Elon Musk and what they have built or they are building. It holds the news globally in
Correct.
what these guys are building. How do you guys look at that Vyomic can be that player from India and can own some space out there in the space tech ecosystem?
Right. We definitely want to work in a way where PNT, every device gets PNT signals or GNSS signals from us.
From you guys.
That's the overall aim for any application whatsoever. If we talk about SpaceX, I think it's extremely motivational they've I think set up like 8 to 10,000 satellites right till now, and they're providing great communication advantage. So they're focusing. The Starlink is focused
Starlink.
on communication.
Yeah.
And the rocket, which is the Falcon 9 and all these rockets which they've developed, it's also very easily accessible where we can launch our satellites through them. I think one of the companies of India called Pixel launched 6 satellites recently through SpaceX rockets. So that's really a great advantage. I think India, there are companies which are now coming up, let's say Agnikul Cosmos, Skyroot, which would offer these services, launch services.
Launch services. So where
within
you guys
India.
can put your satellite
Correct.
via that. Okay. But have you ever thought of collaborating with SpaceX, connecting? Have you tried to connect with the team of Elon Musk?
Not as of now, maybe because we are in a different domain. So if I divide the space sector into major 3 sections, right? First is a remote sensing, where all these imaging satellites or imaging applications come in.
Correct.
Earth observation, what we call. Second is communication, where Starlink, Iridium,
Which is
these
using
guys-
the satellites for better
for
communication. And
for
connectivity.
connectivity. And third is navigation. So what we are working
I
on
see.
is navigation. SpaceX is focused on communication. Companies like Galaxy Space, Pixel, all of these are focusing on remote sensing. Yeah.
But you would have thought that how you guys can collaborate with SpaceX.
Maybe for launching purposes, we could collaborate with them. We would definitely explore that option as well. So, yeah.
I would want to meet also Elon Musk or something.
Yes. So,
Because I think there are many founders get an opportunity to meet him or something like that. I'm not sure. How does that work?
I'm not sure. So, Hyperloop, one interesting story is Hyperloop was started by Elon Musk.
Correct.
And he organized SpaceX Hyperloop competition. That was the time Avishkar Hyperloop was formed by Galaxy co-founders.
Okay.
Galaxy is
The previous batch.
Previous batch.
Okay.
So Suyesh, Kishan, Praneeth, and all these different co-founders formed Galaxy, and they were part of, or they were building Avishkar Hyperloop as well. So they met Elon Musk in one version of SpaceX Hyperloop pod competition, in which in whole of Asia, our team Avishkar was the only team to be in top 10 of SpaceX Hyperloop competition.
Wow.
So yeah.
Amazing. So, on a little larger note, right, does satellite or satellite constellations, can it help in better climate change or what we are undergoing, etc.?
They can predict better.
Okay, they can predict.
They can
So, which can help the government
correct to take measures,
measures,
preventive measures, and all those things.
whether it's any of the natural disasters or a
Correct.
natural thing that can.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Tell me about the economy of, how in India space economy is growing or ballooning, and vis-a-vis compared to a global space economy in terms of the numbers and figures. कितनी बड़ी है हमारी space tech economy?
So I'm not really sure of the exact number, but what we are targeting is around $44 billion by 2030 or so. So the point is we started privatizing only in 2021.
Correct.
So we are very new to, only 4
This
years have
economy,
been there to space economy. So InSpace is pushing a lot on downstream applications, which is basically user centric. What impact you are trying to bring to the user? You're developing satellites, you're building. उसका क्या user impact हो रहा है for agriculture, for defense, for any of these applications. So right now InSpace also for us there has been a lot of pushing for us to explore commercial sectors like drones, aviation, all these different angles apart from defense, because defense is definitely one of the clients. If you're building from India, they would be very interested to take indigenous system. But commercial is also something which we should explore.
Correct.
So I think this has been happening a lot. We are growing at a very good rate. We are seeing a lot of startups coming up which are putting up their constellation. Galaxy also plans to launch soon. And other companies have launched, like Pixel have launched. So,
but in simple words, if I have to put, if US is at 10, where is India at in space economy?
Economic wise?
Yeah, economic wise, or just scale wise, that where are we at right now compared to US or I don't know, China or some other country who's building.
If we take only SpaceX, Starlink, they have like 8-10,000 satellites. I think ISRO launched its 100 or 101 satellite or
So
something.
we are at 1/10.
soon. Yeah.
1/10 of what even just SpaceX is doing.
Yeah.
So imagine.
But the impact is larger, right? So we only had government organization which was working on. Now we have private which have launched 6, 7, 8, 10, whatever number of satellites very soon, and we would also be launching 150 odd satellites
soon.
very soon. So yeah.
Yeah, but it'll take time to
Correct.
catch up to that speed. Got it. Understood. You've been from a student who worked on a project very
Correct.
deeply at IIT Madras to starting this own venture and moving into proper full-time business or a startup, right? What has been your biggest mistake that you've made in this entire journey?
Oh wow. Okay.
थोड़ा भाई हम भी IIT मद्रास वालों को डाउट में डाल सकते हैं ऐसा क्वेश्चन डाल के.
Right. I think when we were doing our first venture for Drone Swarm, right, we were more in the project thought process कि हम सब कर लेंगे. मतलब ये भी हम बना लेंगे, वो भी हम बना लेंगे. एवरी कॉम्पोनेंट हम ही डिज़ाइन करते हैं, हम ही बनाते हैं. Which was not really good thinking or good scenario, because you have availability of resources, you have mentors available, you have advisors, you have companies who are working on different subsystems. Why not take their help and build faster and grow with the market? मतलब they would be evolving, मतलब उनका काम ही let's say motors बनाना है, so they would be evolving much more faster than us. So that's what we have mitigated with Vyomic. मतलब we are in talks with almost all the space tech companies in India, talks with a lot of in-space people, ISRO scientists and
कि जहाँ पे
everyone.
भी पार्टनरशिप बने
Yeah.
करो
Where we
और
can
काम
try to
fast करो.
understand, कि और better क्या हो सकता है, और better तरीका क्या है इसको करने का, और faster तरीका क्या है. So this is something which we have mitigated and which I think we're trying to work
No, which
on.
is very fair, because as a founder, one must know what is his or her strength and weakness.
Correct.
और जो स्ट्रेंथ है उस पर वर्क करो, जो शायद से थोड़ा वीक है उसको सीखो,
Right.
और जो दूसरा बेहतर है यू अलाउ दैट
Yeah.
पर्सन टू एक्चुअली डू इट.
Right.
So I think that becomes very interesting. This is like, because you mentioned about you've come from Madhya Pradesh, and
Yeah.
where I don't think space ka, tech ka,
Right.
itna ye hoga. Of course, if you're Bangalore or Chennai, one can understand.
Correct.
But how was this, from when did you realize that you were like deep into technology and, like you would be doing something like this, which is massive innovation?
Right. I think my Nana is a physics professor, and that's how I got interested in physics for the first part, like 9th, 8th, 9th class. And then in 10th, 11th, 12th, I studied physics and all. But the actual technology perspective, right? Although you have understanding of physics and all, you are interested in physics, but technology में interest came in the second year of IIT Madras. In the first year.
First year में तो क्या?
First year तो मतलब I didn't do anything roughly. और COVID भी आ गया था, so nothing really happened. But in the second year when I joined Avishkar, I understood कि मतलब बहुत सारी चीज़ें हो रही हैं. And मतलब these are very fascinating things. कैसे चीज़ें काम करती हैं.
हाँ.
The technology behind how are you using your receiver to get मतलब your accuracy. These are something which is very fascinating. So I think that got into the system and through
In
Avishkar
second
3
year
years.
of IIT Madras. So before, like, I mean, one would imagine that you are getting into IIT Madras to become a techie and to do something into AI or something like that. But you got a realization only that you can do something in tech in the second year.
Yeah, मतलब you could obviously मतलब first year में क्या ही होता है more or less, मतलब the people which I was मतलब मेरे classmates वगैरह के साथ, no one really had any idea कि उनको करना क्या है.
Got it.
So in second year, third year only people get कि हाँ interest कहाँ पे आ रहा है. हो सकता है किसी को ड्रामा, म्यूजिक एक्सेट्रा में भी इंटरेस्ट, मतलब there are people who have got interested in that. So that's how I think IIT is. You can get interested in anything because there are so many things happening all around the campus.
Interesting. Is there a moment in your life, in your day, where you feel कि भाई ये अगर नहीं चला तो if there is some, if we don't raise the next round, if this does not happen, because I mean every founder goes through it, but
Yeah.
I feel that this sector is such, and what you guys are building is something very capital intensive, very deep, long gestation period. शायद
Correct.
revenue अगले 3 साल तक ना आए.
Correct.
Tell me
Yeah,
about
so मतलब these kind of thoughts तो can come anytime, मतलब आते रहते हैं कभी भी. But what keeps us going is कि the problem which we are solving is so fundamental in nature and so validated by industry, by defense, by government, by everyone, that we realize कि ये solve तो करना ही है in any case. And मतलब from start, I think the first time we met Amit, who connected us as well, he was more interested on whatever we are building as founders. He was more interested on us founders. So he was ready to invest or help us in drone tech as well. And then when we pivoted, he helped us a lot in how we can pivot, what we need to think through. And the first meeting we had with Special Invest as well, they were hooked on to the problem statement and the founder very
Amazing.
well. And then they helped us develop the use case, business development and everything side by side along with their thesis as well.
Wow.
So that's really where we realize कि there are lots of people that who are behind us who will help us to overcome any of these situations. So yeah.
Amazing. Do you want to share something about that round, the pre-seed round that you did?
Yeah, so we raised a pre-seed round of 14 crores, $1.6 million. Very recently, we announced in September. And we are having a runway of 18 months. We would develop and demonstrate a space-based payload, which would basically test all our technology stack altogether. So this is the overall idea we have right now.
Got it. Amazing. Last one question before we close is, what is your one big dream at Vyomic? Where do you see Vyomic in the next 5 years? Let's put it in this case 10 years.
As I mentioned, right, we want Vyomic to be the go-to navigation constellation for any device. We don't only want to restrict it to defense or let's say drones or these kind of high-tech products. We also want it to come to mobile phones, laptops, daily use devices, wristwatches, everything. So that's, I think, the overall aim we have, like build a complete navigation, new age navigation stack for the world is what the aim we have.
Wow, amazing. Looking forward to that day when we have that on
Yes.
our phones, and we can proudly say that we hosted Vibhor from Vyomic.
Thank you so much.
When we had spoken about this and he had predicted this. Wonderful, Vibhor. Lovely having you on the show.
Thank you so much.
I think it was amazing learning for me, and I'm sure for the viewers it would be even more amazing, because ये sector इन्होंने इस हिसाब से तोड़ा है, and he tried to break it down for all of us in such a manner that it became very, very simple for anyone to understand. So thank you, Vyomic,
Thank you so much for this.
Vibhor, for doing that. I'm just telling your name also as Vyomic.
Nice,
The brand
nice.
is
I think
very
we
very
want
recall.
Vyomic to be everywhere. not
Wonderful.
just us.
Thanks a lot, Vibhor, for
Thank you so
coming
much
on
for
the
your
webinar.
time.